Now, moving on, starting today, 22nd of January, Ghanaian security agencies can collaborate more efficiently to protect the country's points of entry. A new border security fusion center has been set up to allow the Ghana Police Service, the Ghana Immigration Service, and the BNI and others involved in air, land, and maritime security to properly coordinate their border security efforts. For over a month last year, JoyNews produced a series revealing the porous nature of Ghana's borders. The creation of a border fusion center is under the auspices of the Security Governance Initiative, a partnership between the American and the Ghana governments. Our head of our security desk, Gifty Andoapia, is at the center and joins us with details of this event. What exactly will this fusion center, first of all, Gifty, do? Help us with an understanding.
We are facing.
Well, we don't seem to have Gifty on the line now, but we've got the Defense Minister, Dominic Nitiwo, who's been speaking at this event. Let's take a listen.
It does not come into their country or does not even thrive in their country. And so Ghana as a country and a government led by this president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, is putting all the measures that we need to put in place to ensure that terrorism does not first appear in our country or even thrive in our country. In the unlikely event that we have one, we don't expect to have anything with the measures we have put for now. But we are still going to invest even more resources to ensure that we don't get this type of thing. This is just one of the things that we are doing. Putting them together, making them work together, making sure that they can coordinate effectively, work 24 hours overnight to ensure that everything is under control. We've already started with Operation Conquer First. The armed forces will have over 400 soldiers up north, working with the police, working with immigration, and every month, we resource them to be there to keep working. We are going to increase the numbers, not just the numbers of the soldiers, but give them enough equipment. You remember the last time the president came to commission 33 armored vehicles. We'll keep doing these things periodically to ensure that our men in uniform have what it takes to be able to defend you and defend us. It may not be easy. As you know, you remember that we have bread and butter matters. People will complain about economy. People will complain about rules. But at the same time, the security, what we call security, as everybody knows, is the #1 task or priority of every government. You have to be secured first. Your citizens will have to be safe first before you provide the others. But that's not to say others are not important. But if your citizens don't feel secured, if your citizens are dying, you might not be able to provide them with free education. You may not be able to provide them with even good roads. So if you ask countries that are having difficulty with security, like Mali, like Niger, like Burkina Faso, they may not even think of free education. They may not even have the ability to think of even providing them what we get and we take for granted, because we have security. And we will keep working to ensure that you and everyone has the security that the state will give you.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're live on JoyNews, Honorable Minister. I know we've spoken already, but let's just do a quick one because we're live. We know that this is a collaboration with the Ghana and the U.S. government, but we also know that U.S. has, growing tensions with Iran. Should Ghanaians be concerned about this situation?
Every nation should be concerned, but we are not worried about it. We are not worried because Ghana has positioned itself in such a way that you don't become a target for no reason. If U.S. has problems with Iran or U.S. has problems with somebody, that's a different kettle of sheep. And I can say that every nation has its diplomatic relationships and the way we work. We'll have no problem with Iran. Neither we don't have any economic problem with Iran. We don't have any diplomatic problem with Iran. In fact, there are Iranian investments here, just as we have Ghanaian investment in Iran. The same thing in the United States of America. So we're not worried about what they do. But you should be worried because if there is a problem that comes up between Iran and the U.S., for example, war, it will affect us, definitely. So that's the worry that we have. And so we prepare ourselves in the event that there is any security anywhere around the world. So we keep doing the same thing to ensure that we fortify and we make sure that our security agencies have what it takes to be able to defend us when they need to be able to defend us. That's why I keep making this point everywhere, that this president has put more resources into the Ghana Armed Forces in the last 3 years than any other government has done in their first 3 years. No president has ever done that like this man has done.
We'll look for the records and check that out.
Trust me, I can tell you that if you look for the records, you will realize that this president has put in more resources than any other president. If you take the first 3 years of every government, that one I would even use the word it's an understatement. Whether in their conditions of living, their conditions of service, in their living standards. Everything, accommodation, everything. If you check record by record, first 3 years of every government since the First Republic, this president has put in more. We are pressing to make sure that we get more, even for them, not just for the armed forces. The police is the same thing. The police is the same thing, and every security agent has felt the weight of what this president is trying to do. But I'm saying that the security challenges 3, 4, 5 years are different. If you check maybe the challenges that President Mahama faced between 2013 and 2016 may totally be different, and in fact are different from now. We have more challenges because the North is really under pressure from these jihadists who are threatening every day to enter into our country. So the focus may be different. Terrorism may not have been a problem for the then government between 2013 and now, but this is our number one priority now. Maybe chieftaincy crisis may have been a problem then, maybe tribal conflict may have been a problem then, maybe armed robbery may have been the number one priority, maybe normal theft or fire may have been a problem, but I tell you today that terrorism is a huge problem for every country within the sub-region in West Africa. And so the president and us have been meeting regularly to review this thing. Every Monday we meet, especially on our security matters, to ensure that we give Ghana the best of security. For a president to be meeting his ministers of defense, interior, and national security every week to brief him and to take strategies to ensure that you and myself are defended properly, then you should know that we take security very seriously.
We hear you, and I'm sure that Ghanaians will be looking up to their safety, looking up to you for their safety. Thank you very much. So that's Dominic Nitiwu, who has been speaking to us, the Minister for Defense, who was here earlier to launch this Border Security Fusion Center. He's provided some explanations as to how this is going to work. Essentially, this will bring the security agencies, key personnel from the security agencies across the country. He says about nine agencies will be working together in one room, sharing information. For security reasons, that we're unable to get into the building itself to find out what gadgets they have in there. But so far, this is what we know. There is a new fusion center, Border Security Fusion Center, where agencies will be able to share information. And you know that this is coming on the back of JoyNews' series on the state of Ghana's borders that highlighted how porous our borders are. Mama V, back to you in the studio. I am Gifty and up here.